Oh, welcome aboard. If only you knew what was said off air. Lovely to have your company here on I don't know why I start podcast doing that Wednesday. We record on a Wednesday. I think we've told you that many, many times. You're probably watching, if you're watching on YouTube or on KO on a Wednesday, but you might be on a Thursday, you might be on a Friday. Sean Ormerod.
That's the beauty of podcasts, isn't it, Dan? You can listen when you choose.
I would suggest that I think we could Trojan horse a Friday show where we tip the North Queensland Manly Thursday game where we get everything right, and they go, geez,
I don't mind it.
Yeah, thank you.
Speaking of Trojan horses, now we should bring you in behind the closed curtain, so to speak. So, just before we came to air, folks, we appreciate your company once again. This man, who, by the way, this year, if you don't mind, 5-1 with best bets. Is that correct?
Now 5-2. The golden run came to an end.
Oh, well, still handy.
The golden run.
Still enough to be looking for.
But 21-8 for the last 29 best bets.
Wow.
Thank you. Now, do you notice how impressed he was? Yeah. And he's very hard to impress.
And, well, I'll tell you, it'll be impressing when people turn up to the Palace of Ginnane and they see a brand new sofa lounge from where, Sean?
From Denmark, sugar.
From Denmark.
From Denmark, of all places. And, hey...
It's a shopping centre.
We know the Danes can design some very fine furniture. I'd love to know how much this...
Not much.
Piece of...
That's where a best bet run gets you, Sean.
It does.
I'll write it down. Give me a pen.
It's the 21-8 lounge.
I'll write it down.
The Great Dane. Not Dan anymore, it's the Dane.
All right, that's how much for a lounge and a chair. It was actually quite reasonable.
Was it stuck in the straight?
And the point is, it took them 14 weeks to make it and send it. Okay, it's a couch. It must be special. It's not special. It's a couch. But then I needed a footstool to go with it. I bought a footstool, but I needed a second footstool. And it's the most basic thing. It's a footstool. 18 weeks.
Yep.
I'm in the midst of an 18-week wait for a damn footstool.
Will there be a harder working footstool in all of Australia? Like with the hours spent watching the Masters when NFL season rolls around, that footstool. Good luck to the Danes.
I was very angry watching the Masters. My man Ludwig didn't deliver. Geez, I can't tell you what. I've had a lot of success on golf over the years, but not on this show. Every person I tip, it's the other guy that does well. Anyway, I think what's great, Joel, is that you've come back, but we have, immediately, some of us can go 5-2 against their best bet, and no one mentions anything here. No, every time I come in, I pop the thing in. I think there's going to be balloons falling out. Nothing, but he comes. Even our producer Gibbo like that. He turns up 1 week. Oh, and look what we're opening the show with. So right, a Joel Caine So Right special.
Titans 13 plus. This is the 4th straight game for the Eels at CommBank, but they've got the 6-day backup versus the 8-day backup. This is downtown flat Stanleyville.
Yeah, it's very good.
Oh yes, he had tomorrow's paper, didn't he? Read that like a book, sugar.
I'll give us all the rap. We all knew Gold Coast were way over the odds. You went even bigger and went 13 plus. You had the minerals, the stones, to take them as a best bet, which you made me angry, but in the end it was pretty obvious. It was obvious within 10 minutes, they're going to win big. Yeah. Not even they can stuff this up.
When we put our bets on the thread, and Ginnane straight away, the Great Dane, he says, they're getting 4.5. Remember you said that on the thread?
Yeah, but then you softer.
You know what it is?
Softed it. When you've got, it was 3.5 when I put my best bet in, as if it was 4.5, you would have taken the line. No. You wanted to come out, Matt Hayden style, get on the front foot.
Right.
Take the.
What'd you say? Statement bet, and I'm here for it.
That was a statement bet, and well done. And listen, a statement bet is only as good as its result, and that was a damn good result.
That's how when I put my bets into the WhatsApp thread, or put all my bets on. That's how I imagine they're all going to win. Yeah, and then it all crumbles at some point. Like on a Wednesday, all your bets are on, you're like, how good's this?
They've all won.
They're all going to win like that.
Just an oddity. This doesn't mean anything. I just found this amusing. Well, it's not amusing for you Eels fans, but Eels. Have a look at this, conceding 50, right? So I've done it twice this year. And now if the random guy has already posted this, I'm sorry. I found this out. And I thought, this is too good to be true. Round 1. Last year, conceded 50. Round 1 this year, conceded 50. Round 6 last year, round 6 this year. What does it mean? Doesn't mean anything, except they can't win the comp.
Coming it twice now.
Oh, yeah. So that is Parramatta in a world of hurt, and they're going down South Sydney 2025, down that path of injuries. They are just in a horrid state.
So last week I brought this up and you guys were against it. Have you changed your tune? If a player's ruled out to foul play, surely salary cap dispensation, surely. Are you coming around to it?
I wasn't anti it at the
They have
start.
a case, but then I knew it would happen. Let's say they got dispensation, right? Then other clubs are coming out of the woodwork. Well, hang on. We had a guy last year that had the same thing happen to him, and we manoeuvred our salary cap. We would have manoeuvred our salary cap around that. You can't do it. Put it this way, Joel. Clubs are so selfish. Look at the fact that Perth can't get any caveats in terms of their salary. Clubs only think of themselves. Okay. So I think your case is a very compelling case that Parramatta do deserve something, especially when Origin players wiped out during Origin. There is some dispensation for the club. Foul play, I think you're right.
I'm saying foul play when the club confirms they're out for the year, and if, based on what you're saying, we'll do it for next year. And the reason I say that is because the product of the game itself, there's very good players running out in reserve grade. Wouldn't we rather see them loaned to Parramatta for the spectacle of the game?
Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to think of where my cynical head goes is, well, how is this going to be rorted by teams? And I'd need to maybe think about that a bit further, but they'll find a way of somehow being able to make it work in their favour, won't they? Like
foul play.
I mean,
out. That's the only.
What's that?
Let's
They
be
can't
honest.
come back for the rest of the year. What if they?
Let's be
No,
honest.
the club's got to confirm they're gone for the year.
Do you think there has been, and I'm not saying name and shame, a medical retirement that is a little bit suspicious?
Oh, for sure.
Thank you. So that's what the problem is. It will be rorted.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying in its pure form makes total sense. But Parramatta, is it 3 or 4 games in a row? Certainly 3 have used 18 players. 18 players, 3 games in a row. Twice because of foul play, and the third one I think they had 2 HIAs. I mean, they are just snake bit at the moment. I'm looking forward to this. Joel coming from the sight screen, running in, bowling from the Paddington end.
Coach's Corner, this is a little different, boys. This is for the coaches, and if you're looking to preserve your career. Now, I want you guys and the listening audience, or for those who are watching on YouTube, to pay attention to coaches under the pump, right? So the great Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, empathy is a big thing. So let's go through some of the coaches under the pump. Jason Riles, they've had 50 put on the weekend versus the Titans. Here's what Jason Riles had to say.
Well, we just got 50 put on us at our home ground, so the fans are well within their right to be doing that. You know, they're a huge part of what we're doing, and it's disappointing that we perform like that in front of them.
Level of empathy there, boys.
Oh, that's an 8.5 out of 10 empathy.
8.5. Shane Flanagan, 32 blot against the Cowboys. Take it away, Flano.
No, it's not good enough. Completely understand. It's not good enough, and I completely understand. I've got no excuses to put out there, so I've got to find out why, and that's my job over the next couple of days to find out why. But yeah, not good enough, and I fully understand.
What would Dale Carnegie say to that, gentleman?
You need to fix that fan in the back.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had it as an 8. But I took half a point off. It's not Flanagan's fault.
Okay.
I'd say that wasn't as empathetic,
No.
but it was still 7.5.
Okay, let's move on to Anthony Seibold. We know that he has vacated his position. Siebes?
Got your life round, isn't it? So, I mean, I didn't hear the fans. But what do you do, mate? What do you want me to do? I turn up, work hard for the group. As I said, I feel like we've got a group there that can win games of footy, and they fight hard. Like, if we didn't have any fight in us, we would have got tailed up by 60 points with those stats, not getting a penalty.
Good fella, knows the game, smart, but that could be improved next time he's around, right?
Yes.
I fear there won't be a next time, but yes, that's a 3.
Okay.
And Adam O'Brien had the same affliction. Go.
Here he goes, Adam O'Brien.
I promise I didn't see that.
Here it is.
It's disappointing. Yeah, it's really disappointing to people, to even, I know the scoreline's not what they want, but to boo the effort that went into that first half from a really young team. The people that booed don't know anything about rugby league.
Yeah, it's just like, and they're all good guys, right? It's just Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you want to be a coach, folks, go and read the book, because it's not just about the X's and O's. How you manage your fans, very important, right?
Well, also how you manage, yes, the fans, but also the media. It's
Correct.
a reality. So Adam O'Brien, I'm sorry, I did not mean to steal your thunder. No. I did not see his name on there. Because he's always the example I go to. His record's actually not that bad.
That's right.
Like, they made the finals 4 of the 6 years he was there. Now, they were never... Maybe once they could have threatened for the premiership in 23 when Ponga got hot, but generally they just snuck in, got knocked out first week. But his record was fine. His problem was never really connected with the fans, and he pissed off the Johns brothers early. Johns brothers would say things in the media, you should do this, you should do that. Now... he obviously was trying to carve his name, and he pushed back. Well, they're not the blokes who pushed back, Newcastle legends. But I don't mean to pick on him, because he admitted to someone, I was speaking to someone who had spoken to him after I criticised him, and plenty of people had, it wasn't just about me. And he goes, I know I'm terrible in media conferences.
Yeah, but that's...
And that's the game. They call it... is it the 5th quarter in AFL? I don't know. It wouldn't be the third half in rugby league, but 100% you've got to play the game. Siebes has never nailed that.
No. What it does, right?
Nathan Brown is particularly good at it.
Nathan Brown is immortal at it, right? What it does is it just... How long's your leash? Right? So the ones who are masters at this have a longer leash with the public, with their fans, with the media. And the ones who don't, you want to keep winning, because that leash is short.
It was compounded by the fact of all the teams and all of the places or cities or towns to say that they don't know anything about rugby league. Newcastle's in it. They're probably the most educated of them all.
But that's what pressure does, right? So he would take that back. Steve would like to handle it better. That's what pressure does.
And the 2 most important press conferences now are the Friday night late game and the Saturday night late game, because they're live on television. And that's where a good media manager needs to just remind them, hey, you are live on TV here. Just remember, you are live on... Like, just take them out for 5 seconds.
Yep.
And seriously, that's what you have to do. Or get a crisis manager. Very nice. I like that. Very nice.
Thanks, Dan.
Can we continue... I like the empathy game, though.
Yeah.
Can we just... We'll keep that.
Keep an eye on it.
Yeah, an empathy meter. North Queensland versus Manly is a very interesting first game. 13 minutes and we get to the first game, which is... I'm just doing that for the YouTube commenters out there.
It's not bad for us.
It's very good. Very good. Because I could have done 12 minutes on my couch. I think these are the wrong odds of the week. Eagles 236 is way too big here. Cows getting -4.5. And 53.5 is a very high number. I'm not sure it's anywhere near high enough. So Taulagi and Marnie are out for the Cowboys. Sonny Luke was very good last week. Geez, that was a great game. I know some are getting peed off with 6 again football. A lot of it's not 6 again football. A lot of it's just... maybe players are starting to adapt to the quick play the balls and not giving away 6 agains, but it's lightning quick. Love the Broncos game. Manly's in a nice place at the moment, 2 wins in a row, and have not lost in Townsville. This is an unbelievable fact. Never lost at the stadium there. In fact, they haven't lost in Townsville since 2016. Is that not strange or what? Turbo, first try 3 times this year, and it's basically Turbo and one other player, Joel,
Absolutely.
and that's just carrying the load for Manly.
Yeah, same game multi. If you took it every week, you're 3 from 5 so far. They had the bye, of course, so 3 from 5. And if I show you here, here's all the green ticks for the T's. T for try, T for turbo, T for Tolatau. It's a tickathon. The two misses was Newcastle and the Dragons. Did you call the Dragons game last week, Dan?
Who'd they play?
The Knights. Manly, rather.
No.
Setu 2, his tackle on Kohler. If you had Kohler, it was get a score for all money. Unbelievable stop.
Yeah.
And then Knights come up with a big stop against them. So easily it could have been 5 from 5 with that same game multi, which is my flair, boys.
Okay, all right, straight down to business. What about you? What's your take on this game?
Well, the angle is points. I was shocked that I made it about what it is. So Cowboys are favourites. Basically just the home ground there that's giving them the advantage. What we know is Manly, they're ranked second, Sugar, for long-range tries. They can move the ball early. They can score. We saw it last week off a kick-off. Cowboys defensively still, I know they won that game against the Broncos, but not a great form line. Conceded 30-odd points, so that's bad. Who do you go to? The fast men. Yep. I'm with you.
Are they the fastest back line in the comp? If
Have
there
to
was a
be.
back 5 relay, they win, don't they?
Garrick sneaky quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
He showed off last week.
So
That was an electrifying try. I was listening to it on radio, actually, driving in, and it was spine-tingling listening to the call of that.
and no fluke either. That was a coach's try.
I love seeing... Oh, mate, that's your coach's...
But in saying that, a lot of people had said that Siebes had used that play. So you've got to give the man some credit, right?
Yep.
The man is smart.
Yeah.
No one has ever questioned the man's... It's just the connection.
Did it against the Roosters, the game that his last game in charge. Didn't they score off the kickoff from that same play?
Look, we have a rule here at Get Em Onside, and I don't like it, and that is not allowed to have your best bet on the Thursday game because obviously we go to Fox on a Thursday night. We want to have all our best bets after that, and to me, it's like asking Da Vinci not to sculpt.
Come on.
You can paint, but you can't sculpt. You're still getting.
Oh, what would you have taken here, Leonardo?
Manly plus 4.5.
Well, you know what? I said to SP, the senior producer, self-anointed SP, I said the same thing. He said, you can't have the Thursday. Unity ticket, I'm with you.
That's all right. No, I understand it. But I just want to put it out there. My real best bet, I have 3 real best bets, but I'm only going with one because the second one I just didn't have the stones. St George. And this is the one I really want. This is basically my excuse for when I get my actual best bet wrong. What I hope does not get wrong, we want to get off to a flyer. Repeat that flair for me, please.
The flair for me is this exactly here. Tolutau Kohler and Tommy Trebojevic.
Picks itself.
And by the way, folks, if you missed the season preview, Ginnane was so hot on the Warriors. More than anyone I know out there.
Well, let's not count our chickens yet.
It's on target.
They're a funny team. Geez, that was impressive on Saturday.
Yeah.
That was impressive. 4-2, a little bit. Every time you let yourself in with the Warriors, they break your heart. Canberra versus Melbourne. Friday, one of the better Friday 6 p.m. games. Storm favourites here. Seb Chris goes to the wing. What a fascinating story. Sav Tamale went to Ricky Stewart and said, can you please put me in New South Wales Cup? Did you read this?
Did he?
Did not.
Yeah. Actually said, down on confidence. Remember, he almost stuffed up that try.
That was one of the more bizarre moments of the year so far.
And then Ricky spoke to him on the sideline in
Yeah.
Perth, and it seemed, to use Joel's word, empathetic. It seemed like it wasn't a rant and rave, and that's the upshot. So he's going to go back there, gives Matt Timokor another chance. So you've got some defensive deficiencies both sides here on the edges. Canberra have conceded 30-plus in 4 of their 6 games. They've lost 4 in a row at GIO, and they're terrible in second halves. Outscored 55 to 122 this year, minus 67. They're a first-half team. Melbourne's won their last 4 at GIO, and here's one. NRL teams with a 2-4 record, 23% chance of making finals. Not top 4, finals, 23%.
Wow.
You would give Melbourne better than 23%, wouldn't you?
You would think so.
I'm going to go to you first on this game, Sean Ormery.
Quite simply, I think the Raiders should be, or deserve to be favourites in this game. So I think the market might have got it wrong. The Storm are just going no good at all. I know it's hard to get the purple haze off the brain when you're thinking about the Melbourne Storm, when you're looking at games, but they're going terribly, and it's very hard to turn it around. The Raiders got the win. That was a very weird game over there in Perth. A tale of two halves, you might call it, Dan. But they prior to that had been going okay, not being able to get wins. I'm fascinated, Shug. So with Timoko in the side, he's always been a right edge player. It's been Sasangi this year, but that's been their deficiency defensively. What do? Does Timoko slot back in there? Because that then opens him up on the left, because he has been a target for a while now.
Yeah, well, they haven't. You can start to say, is Timoko really the problem, or is it systemic? Because he's having the same problems as Sasangi, as you said, Ethan Strange. So it's a problem. I tell you what, boys, I was with you about this purple haze. Now's the time to back the Storm.
Win comp.
A month ago, Manly were cooked. Everyone was saying Canterbury can't attack. Cowboys are hopeless. Cowboys won 4 in a row. A lot happens in a month of football, right? They're $14. Maybe top 4's the bet. But the reason I say this, maybe top 4. So have a look at that, Dan. But I just want to show you boys something. Grand final day. This was their left side. Coates, he comes back in a couple of weeks. Jack Howarth has not played a single game at left centre for the Melbourne Storm. Munster's played all the games there. Sean Blore has not played a single game in the back row. So Coates, Howarth, Blore, that left-hand side have basically not been there bar Munster. As a result, opposing right back rowers are cashing in week after week after week. That man is going to be Noah Martin this week, right? So even if he doesn't start, which they did last week, he'll come on and play about 60 minutes anyway. Murata Nakore did start last week. But what I'm saying is that we know Coates is coming back. Blore's on the extended bench now. The big question we have, boys, is Howarth and Meaney. In that grand final in the second half, they're on their way to winning the comp. Gemet Shibasaki runs twice over the top of Meaney.
Yeah.
I know, but I'd be going back to what worked. Put Howarth back on the left-hand side, Meaney back on the right, and just get everything how it was. They had gun defence last year. Don't let one half of football throw everything out.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be doing.
Yeah. No, I don't mind. Well, they need to do something. I mean, like, we're not going to at all, well, I'm not anyway going to sit here and question what Bellamy's doing, because he obviously knows what's going to be best for the footy team. But they have to do something, because whatever they're doing now isn't working. And
scarred by that Shibasaki.
And I know long term it might be the play, but it's still only, it's not. They're not missing 5 players. It's Xavier Coates and Sean Blore. Like, it's not like they're decimated like the Broncos are at the moment with 3 or 4 superstars to come back in. That's my only concern. I can't figure out what's going on down there, because that Warriors game, I've never seen the Melbourne Storm beaten like that.
They got bashed.
Forget about the result. You've seen them lose plenty of games, as good as they've been. They have never been bashed up like that.
Moses Leo's paid the price. His defence is not Bellamy-esque.
No.
Yes or no, and we might talk about this more for a future game. 29 degrees in Perth. They played in the blazing sun, Canberra South particularly. Roosters, Cronulla a little. And a 5-hour flight home. That was on a Saturday. This game's on a Friday. Do you factor the Perth element into your thinking into this week?
I do.
I do too. So I'd go Melbourne, because I do think there'd be a bit of desperation. But listen, it's Friday 6 p.m. and I think we've started a new tradition here. We've started a new tradition. I think we can all get behind this. The Friday fun one. I just invented that, the Friday fun one. Never been used in any format before. Right, let's go big. All right, okay, listen, we went big the 6 o'clock game last week, didn't come off. But you know what? We only have to hit one of these or 2 of these a year. And so, I had to do a bit of manoeuvring here, because I wanted both. You can't put both Hudson Young and Will Warbrick in a first, second, or third market. You can't marry up 2 in the same market. But if you get a little funky, Young to score first, second and third. I love Young early in a game. And Warbrick, Canberra do have deficiencies on the edge. You're going to get $37.
I like that.
Now, does that not sound like a good start to a weekend or what?
Yeah. I feel like Friday 6 p.m. should always be your flair.
Now, you know what? And I'm calling a few coming up, but I'm okay. I will. Yeah. Because I'm all about the Friday fun one.
Yeah.
I'm all about the audience here at Sportsbet and get them on side. I will set aside my integrity to absolutely splash out.
Excellent.
On the Friday 6 p.m. fun one.
I love what you've done there. It's the Friday first 3 Funky Friday. That's good. Yeah. Don't look at me like it's a bad idea. It's a great idea.
He just had to go a little bit further.
I did. I pushed it past, didn't I? I just had to take the tackle, didn't I?
I didn't know him as this, but it's just he just reviewed himself You tell a story and he's got to one up you. Oh, yeah, mate, you should have seen what happened to me.
Am I Stuart Topper?
I've never known you as that. I've just, right there. It's the first time I've ever associated you
Begin the
with
couch from Norway next week, won't you, Steve?
Let's go.
Very good,
I'll
Sean.
show it to you. You're going to go, really? That's it? Like, it just happened to be a couch that I like the look of. It happened to be from Denmark. Let's go to we're going to Darwin for the late Friday night game. Used to be Parramatta that used to have this game. Now it's the Dolphins. And 14.5 is our line. I think we need to just, if Penrith are playing anyone right now, it's, even though they lost last week to Canterbury, it's 14.5 and we just work either way from that. Is that?
Okay, yeah, I don't mind that.
Work from that. My favourite pointless stat of the week, I love coming up with pointless stats, and we'll get to the actual stats that matter. Dolphins in hot weather, 25 degrees or hotter, 9-4 in their history. Oh, wow. You like that? 9-4.
Like
it's not nothing.
No.
It's not nothing.
You dive down. Have we got humidity ranges there as well? Because this is going to be oppressive. Like, by definition, I Googled this. I think above 80% is officially oppressive humidity, which is going to be 85 or thereabouts come kickoff. So this is diabolical to play in. Maybe them off the bye as well, a bit fresher.
4 teams off the bye. Now I think we take notice of the bye stats because we're 5 rounds, 6 rounds in, 4-1. So again, that's not nothing.
Yeah.
Darwin average margin last 5 years, 29 points. So teams are getting flogged. Basically, once their spirit's broken, it's really broken. Dolphins did this a couple of years ago with a big win. But the total points, you would think Darwin, lots of points. No. 43. It's actually unders in that in that regard. Dolphins need to start turning. It mightn't be this week, but they need to start turning things around because they've been very disappointing.
Yeah, continually their own worst enemy with their ball handling, and again, you get lumped with humid, slippery conditions. I'm not sure that's really going to suit them, but they have to turn up here because we're getting towards areas where their long-term season is getting questionable. A lot of people tipped them in their top 4. You would think the Panthers are going to bounce back off a loss. That was the most un-Panthers-like performance I've ever seen. Cleary, I think 4 of his passes hit the ground in that game, so I think you can almost ignore it. Having said all that, 14.5 does look big to me, particularly off that bye. The total, 52.5, that looks big as well, so points at a premium. One thing that I've noticed is, as Katoa this year, Shug, look at we don't have the heat map for last year, we've got it for this year, but if you look to last year, it's both sides of the field, left heavy, right heavy. We know how hot their left edge was. Try assist so far this year, it's very, very right heavy, and he's almost nailed to that side of the field. Now, I don't know, I want to ask you, is it more of a tactic, or is it just how the game's played out? Because this is the play the Bulldogs cashed in, which you declared on this very show last week. They're going after Blaise Talangi, Katoa on the right to maybe Finifuiaki. That's going to be the Galvin to Preston play this week. Is that a strategic move to keep him on the right-hand side, or is it more just how the game's unfolding for
No, what they've done more than anyone is a lot of teams split their halves, whereas he's quite often first receiver no matter what, and it is Nikorima who bounces around as the second receiver. So they do it a little bit differently to everyone else.
I'm finding with Katoa, they're hanging back a bit now. So he used to beat them with subtlety and that half stutter step, and now teams are aware of it. So they're letting him make his move before they make their move. So his numbers are actually pretty good. Where do you see this game going? Isaac Tungle back, by the way, so finally gets to play his 100th game. Casey McLean injured. Liam Martin out for a few weeks, 14.5.
Yeah, I'm with Shawnee. I think they can make a little fight of it. They've got so many points in them. The Hammer, by the way, his most tries against an opponent is Penrith.
Yeah.
The only one off his bingo card. The only team he needs to score against to get the lot, Canterbury.
Is that right?
Yeah.
There you go.
It scored a hat-trick against them last year. It was this time last year when Penrith were in the doldrums. Dolphins smashed them. Your tip on this game?
Panthers.
All right. And
I'm leaning the way of the Dolphins with the plus, but for FLAIR bet, the Bulldogs showed you the game plan, and it's go right, and Finifuiaki, first, second or third try in this game.
in a team that's been pretty ordinary, he's been tremendous. Warriors-Titans, Saturday 3 p.m. footy. This is an unbelievable hoodoo. We need a better word than it's not hoodoo, but it's just a trend. Gold Coast don't lose at New Zealand. Well, they haven't. They've won their last 3, all by single digits. And Warriors have a funny record against bad teams. Now, I'm not saying Titans are a bad team because I know Gordon watches this show and he scares me. But against bottom 9 teams at home, of which Titans are, Warriors have lost 3 of their last 5. All 6 of the Warriors games decided by 13 plus. They haven't been in a tight one yet. Gold Coast were fantastic last week. It was pleasure to watch them play like that. But they have been kept to 16 or less in 4 of 6 games. I'm going to let Joel open the batting here for this contest.
Yeah, beware the scorned X. You've got Aaron Clark, you've got Tanner Boyd, you've got Caine Pereira.
Coffee, yeah.
So they're all on the outer at the Gold Coast. So they've got a big point to prove here. But the problem that Coach Webster has, boys, is, and it has been all year, the centres. You know, they've rolled around with Pompey.
Yeah.
They've rolled around there with Chance. Look at the easy breaks made on their centres. So he's got to find a way to fix this, Coach Webster. The easy misses, they're just strolling through. Fullbacks are having a fun time out there. Speed's having a fun time. Just picture Brimson out here running this kind of line as well. So I'd be looking for AJ. He seems to be in good form, AJ. That's Robbie going, boys.
On paper, it looks to be a suitable. I know it's the time difference, so it's going to be a later afternoon kickoff in New Zealand. Probably you would think it suits the Gold Coast, but the weather, the forecast, anyway, at this point, it looks horrific. So if the Warriors turn up, this is a challenge for the Warriors now. You can't roll out in Melbourne, put on a performance like that. We need to see that more consistently. Because if they serve up, if they get to 80% of how they played there, they are a genuine premiership threat. But this is where you get nervous. They get to go back home. They did it after Newcastle in Australia, thumped them, go back home. Big favourites against the West Tigers. Form line probably franked since then, to be fair. Get beat. So this is, you deserve to be favourites. You have to make a bit of a statement here because the Titans game said more about Parramatta, I think, than the Titans being airborne.
You both haven't addressed the elephant in the room. When the Warriors have had Metcalf and Boyd together, they've struggled. And when Boyd's run the show on his own, I don't know if that's the reason they keep winning these. I mean, their forwards were ferocious last week.
Yeah.
That's why they won that game.
Yeah.
I'm going to need some tips, please. The line, as we go to air, or as we record, 10.5. I'm actually very tempted to take Gold Coast here.
Well, I will purely because of the weather. That's the only reason.
No, I'm going to go. Start of the year, if you missed it in the season preview, this man here waxed lyrically about the prospect for the Warriors. They're a top 4 side, I think. Yeah, you got Barnett to come back.
Yeah. He's loitering around the reserves as well.
And the good kids coming through. They're a good team. They just got to sort this.
He is. He's
one
23. Nickel Klukstad 22 for this game, and your multi Joel Caine is.
Yeah, AJ Brimson to score. Dallin anytime. He just keeps scoring.
He does. He certainly does. Right, South Dragons. I'm doing this game for Fox, and I was so tempted to take the Dragons as my best bet just to cover the 13.5. The Dragons are not that bad. And South again coming off a hot day in Perth, blazing sun. They're a funny team, South. Matt Duffy is in. Now, he actually blitzed the Dragons in the Charity Shield. I don't know if that's a form guide. Here's a weird stat. Dragons have not won at a core stadium since 2019. But I'll tell you what they have done, Joel. They have blown 3 games went ahead in the second half this year. So they're in these games. We know that. They just can't win. Quickly, against the line, who are you tipping?
I'm going the Dragons. South have lost their last 6 when Jai Gray not fullback. Dragons can absolutely win this game.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. This looks perfectly set up for a big Bunnies victory. Like their first half against the Canberra side last week was atrocious. They get the ball, they keep the ball in the second half. We know what their attack can do. I feel like the Dragons were putrid, get booed off. There was effort last week, but still didn't really get near winning the game. I worry for them. This same game almost picks itself. If it gets away from them, then their left edge can score in one hell of a flurry. AJ 2+, Latrell 2+ is the SGM.
I have the statistical analysis to back that up. 17 of their 25 tries scored by a winger or a centre. 68%. I know they scored the most anyway, but that's way over-indexed. Wow, what a game. Tigers, Brisbane, standing room only. Campbelltown. $1.52 the Tigers. My God.
What if I told you that at the start of the year before round 1? What would you have?
I would have thought have they brought Origin forward to round 7? That's what I would have thought. 6.5.
Wow.
6.5 is the line. Now, we still don't trust the Tigers as favourites, but what they did to Newcastle last week, you've got to start to really have some faith in him. Jerome Luai is back, though. How's he and Dewey going to go? Because I tell you what, Jock Madden and Adam Dewey look pretty damn good together. Of course, Luai, it's his spot, but Taylor May returns. Patrick Herbert in the centres. Macassini on the wing. Oh.
Dan,
Joel, open the batting.
you'll know the answer to this. 2003, depleted Broncos. Craig Bellamy coaches his first ever game. They come down the baby Broncos. West Tigers at Campbelltown. They win.
Well, do you know how they go at Campbelltown? They've not lost since 1992.
Wow.
They've not lost since 1992.
I'll tell you a play they're going to come up with here. So last year, we spoke about if you can get Edwards caught on the short side, the kick is on. So they come up with this play last year. They dummy on the short side to keep Edwards there, and then Staggs on the grubber kick. So Edwards is near the referee, can't get there. Since this game, right, they have not stopped scoring off this play. Did you know this? Tony Staggs, his last 7 tries, 5 were off this exact same play.
Excellent.
Yes.
5.
And tends to score them early.
Yep.
We've profited on that too. I'm worried defensively about Brisbane. I think they're in this game up to their eye. I think if you get 6.5 Brisbane, you've got to take it on principle. But I do worry just defensively they could have some real deficiencies.
Yeah, at what point does the at principle stop, though? You've got no Walsh, no Carrigan, no Ben Hunt. Like Jordan Ricky limped off the field the other day as well. Like, they are depleted. Yeah. Not to the extent that Parramatta is, but when you take so many gun first graders out of your starting side, there's a big drop-off. And you can wheel out all the stats you want about West Tigers results in the last 10 years. This is a different side. They are humming with the ball, excellent. But also the other side of it, which was my number one query about probably a Benji Marshall coach team, was can they get their defence really humming? They're scrambling. They're a team. They're playing awesome at the moment, and what they have to target. This is like Groundhog Day when we speak about Broncos games. The left edge, Ezra Mam, Gemmet Shibazaki, 8 try causes for Shiba, 9 for Mam, and then break causes in and around them as well. Like that has to be the target. For that Tigers right edge attack, which is Adam Dewey, which is KPP, one of the signings of the year. He is my... I don't have the flair. You got the flair.
I have. Is Josh Rogers going to play number 9? He's a backup halves player who's... I think it's going to be the big Bukowski. And I think, gentlemen, if he makes his debut...
Big Bukowski.
Is he the dude?
Yeah.
Or the big Bukowski?
I don't know.
All right?
Dude.
I like that.
He's the dude. Vossi's got... I wish I had this game now just so we could land that, the big Bukowski. But he's a hooker. He's probably not going to be big. He's actually quite revered as a young hooker. So, anyway, my real flair... Before I bring up my real flair, I just... Golden point. Golden points.
Oh, wow.
I think this has got drama. I think it's going to break a lot of ratings records because it's Tigers are flying, it's Broncos. I think this is going to be a classic. I wish I was there at Campbelltown.
Quite literally standing room only, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't sit on the hill.
It was Ryanair, wasn't it, who came up with the cheap seats where you had to stand up to make more room?
Like a bus.
This is what they're doing out there. Go the Tigers, good on them.
My official flair, Dewey and Mam to score. Mam, I just will find a way through, and Dewey will... Well, there you go. Dewey and Mam, $7.75. I don't need to come up with any further evidence, even though I should. This is a sneaky good game. Roosters, Newcastle, Allianz, 2 p.m. Have you done a weather check on this one, Sean? Because I hope it's going to be a nice day. I'm out there at...
Beautiful day.
At
and
Allianz.
Sydney is airborne at the moment.
We're in the closing stages. 11.5, way too much start for Newcastle. Way too much. Again, Roosters coming off a Perth game. The media's greatest Roosters sympathiser is sitting to my right, so he's going to tell you the Roosters are going to win by 30. The last 3 games, Roosters against Knights, margins 4-2-2. Roosters won them all, but they scored in the 77th minute and the 71st minute to win a couple of those games. I think they might have been during Origin. Newcastle last one at Allianz in 2009. So we've got some weird home ground or away ground records here. Your thoughts on this game before we get to his analysis, Sean? Big win, Roosters?
I think the line's pretty right. I expect...
Dylan Brown back, by the way.
Yes, yeah, Dylan Brown's back. I'll talk to my flair now, actually. The concern I have for Coach Holbrook is they started the year on the left with Sandon Smith and they were finding him. Little bloke, he's 82 kilos. And he is struggling with the big frames. They've moved him to the right. This is Angus Crichton coming to him, right? So, and what highlights this or magnifies this is coaches know their own players' faults better than any. Sandon Smith's been with Trent Robinson the last few years. He will be all over this. Crichton will get a stack of ball. 82 kilos, Sandon Smith. 102 kilos, Angus Crichton, Shawnee.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. Where I worry about the Newcastle Knights in this game, now it's a big line and I can't get it that big to be able to steam into the Roosters, but I know they get Dylan Brown back, but that result last week has got nothing to do with Dylan. They could have had Caine Ponga on that side, almost the same result against the West Tigers. They were thumped through the middle, and the big change for me is Sharp to fullback and Bradman Best out of the side meets Fletcher Hunt goes to that left centre position. He's going to be up against Bobby Toy, and we've seen a couple of tries from Toya this year where there was really nothing on. It was just a bit of footwork. So he can score a couple of ways. He's a gun with ball in hand. I fear that they might be going after that side of the field, of the Knights, which is Fletcher Hunt, which leads you to your marky mark part of the bet as well. I think that's the edge you want to attack.
That's hard to argue. Are the Roosters that good?
Well,
yet.
That second half against a good side, the Sharks, is pretty sound.
Like when they hold onto the ball, this has been their issue for the whole year. We saw stats last week, like rounds 1 to 3, errors, penalties, can't score. They got to Monsoon or Manly, they held onto the footy and didn't give away penalties, scored 6 tries in a swimming pool. And then they go over to Perth in perfect conditions, first half, just make stupid errors. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but good teams can fix that very quickly. They fixed it in the second half, and you saw exactly what they're able to do.
I don't trust them yet. That's why.
That's the thing. It's a trust issue.
I just don't. They're better than Newcastle. I just don't trust them.
If they're a premiership threat, no Ponga, you have to win this at home emphatically, right? But I should explain too why I've got Marky Mark in the same game multi. Last week I wanted Tavana there. He was late scratching. Marky Mark's probably got the best jump almost in the comp, right? And he's up against Marzu, who's about as big as me.
What is he? Diminutive.
Correct.
Parramatta versus Canterbury. This start's not enough. 13.5. I don't mean to be rude to you Parramatta fans because you are suffering, and I get it. And it's the gods are against the rugby league gods are against you. Canterbury are awesome. There's no other way to put it on Thursday night. Leo Thompson makes his debut. Canterbury's record against bottom 9 teams is outstanding. They've won 21 of their last 23. They don't lose these. And Parramatta, NRL's worst defence in 21 years after 6 games. And they've conceded 14 tries to centres and second rowers. Hello, Jacob Preston and others who I know are going to come up here. Joel, where do you want to go with this game?
Well, I'm going to just go on the back of your comments there, Dan. I want to show you, the viewers, these players here, and just have a think about what you think they've got in common. They're all forwards, okay? What have these players got in common, boys, would you say, in 2026?
You've got me.
Joe Chan's copped one hell of a spray, the others haven't. What is it?
They've all scored against Parramatta. That's the obvious answer, but they have all scored. These are forwards. These aren't wingers. They've all scored untouched. Not a single touch. Ryan Pappenhausen's come out and said he wants to come back and play touch. Well, here's 4 players you can have. They do not get a hand on them. 4 players, forwards. That is embarrassing. I could see why you wouldn't want to touch Payne Haas just quietly, but that's really bad, isn't it? To not get a single finger on you as a forward. Four different players.
Yeah, it's alarming, and like we were all against Parramatta last week, not because they were playing a crash shot team in the Titans, but because they're just so decimated. Like this is nothing against Jason Riles or anyone else or the club. They are decimated, and we saw the end result. Like the comp is that good at the moment. The Titans put 50 on you, you're in big trouble. This line was 8.5 on Monday. Sugar. No. 8.5. So well done.
Have either of you taken this 13.5 as your best bet?
No.
I'm taking it. I'm sorry.
There's only one bet you can have. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I'm
is in this
changing. I was
game.
going to take Newcastle, and I'm changing on the run. The more poor Parramatta.
I like this. Eyes up.
And
best
I
bets.
would, and Joel, this is your territory. Is this a back Canterbury to Cooper side to nil game?
Could be. Yeah, it could be.
I feel for them. I feel for Parramatta. They're just the snake bit side. Sean, your flair quickly.
My flair here, we might have got our wires crossed, but I want Satilia Tupanua first try of the second half. He comes on in about half an hour. He's on the field in the second half.
I like it.
I like that. He's in good try-scoring form as well.
Let's go to a quick break and we will come back with our best bets right after this. Get them on side. Just a quick point on Royce Hunt, my hero. You can't have him on for a second stint, Benji. Now, that's not me for giving advice to Benji, he's flying. But Royce is a 20-minute tornado. He is not a second... What happens after a tornado? Sunny skies. That's why they conceded too late. 20-minute Royce. Time for this.
I'm kicking off. We're going to Darwin. Oppressive conditions, points at a premium. Dolphins off the bye, plus 14.5. And it's going to be handy in a hot and humid game against the Panthers. The Bulldogs gave you the game plan to beat them. Look right.
Bunny's back from Perth, and the last 6 in a row without Dry Great fullback, they have lost. This is upset o'clock. Dragons can win it. And Dan, speaking about second stints, you're not going unders again, are you?
Yeah,
Listen, I reckon I'm about 80% on unders over the journey. I got it wrong last week. No, Bulldogs, big. Bulldogs, big. The reason I bring up Royce Hunt and Benji is because I was going to lord it over these two. He kept another clean sheet, Royce Hunt. X Factor, the 20-minute tornado, and then Benji brings him on for the last 5 minutes. They concede 2 tries. Anyway, this is just my self-indulgence. Get them on side feed page. Get them on side feed page. Get them on side feed page. You can get our personal feed page. And there it is. There was one bet I wanted to have, but I'm not allowed to have anything over 50 to 1, so we're $53.
And the socials as well. Sugar's doing
Socials.
behind the scenes
Is
content,
he?
which is good stuff.
All right. So we'll be back next week following Matty Johns as usual on Fox League, and we'll be back on Wednesday for the early risers. Get them on side. Thank you for watching.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.